welcome to GamesMaster, television's most comedic piece of factual programming. Last week, a staggering 47 million people tuned in for our first show. But remember, viewers, to me, you're more than just a number. The girls are having a minor altercation over the possession of my fish fingers, so they're not fighting just for my benefit. Good evening, ladies. What is the most violent thing you've ever done?
Well, once I threw a daisy at a bunny rabbit. I once drove a truckload of old people off a cliff.
Coming up on tonight's show, Danny John-Jules from Red Dwarf is going to be trying out the salacious curves of Wipeout 2097. But we begin with an event we like to call King of Combos 96. With its whopping ultra combos, Killer Instinct is the most involved beat-em-up since Vietnam. We decided to follow up on last year's King of Combos event with Killer Instinct Gold, the latest version of the game on the Nintendo 64.
I like to keep a close eye on the arcades, and for this event, I've plucked 3 champion arcade players to demonstrate their combo credentials. The idea is simple enough for even the most dim-witted of viewers. The player who succeeds in pulling off the biggest combo takes the joystick. However, my champions are likely to be sorely tested by the necessity of using the Nintendo 64's unique joystick. It might be great for 3D games, but when it comes to arcade beat-em-ups, those tiny joystick buttons can be fiendishly difficult to manage.
So please welcome our 3 Killer Instinct competents, Philip Cook, Mark Griffin and Roy Waterman. Okay, Philip, you first of all, your nickname is Kingpin. Why is that?
Nah, it's that one time I had a really big afro and then I shaved it all up and I looked like the character from Spider-Man called...
What would you say you're happier with an afro or with a skinhead?
Skinhead, I presume.
Skinhead, better than an afro. I used to have an afro once. No, I didn't. Mark, now yours is a rather sad tale of young love turned sour. You just split up with your girlfriend. Why was that?
She started going out with someone else.
Technically a problem,
yep.
Now and again. So you are quite literally on the pool?
Yep.
We will be giving out Mark's number at the end of the show then if anyone is interested. So mums and dads, lock up your daughters. And finally, Roy, now you're a bank cashier.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to get the guys into their games playing positions. While we do that and I ponder the merits of a career in high finance, let's take a look at today's news. First, more on the Nintendo 64. These are exclusive pictures of what promises to be the first decent driving game for the console. Rev Limit features no Vickers, but 3 tracks and 4 cars and aims to combine the best elements of Sega Rally and Ridge Racer. Rev Limit is scheduled for release in the first quarter of next year, so bank cashiers can buy it then. If you pay close attention to the hype surrounding the launch of Sega World in London last month, you might be forgiven for thinking that the 12 quid entrance fee was a little steep for the pleasure of standing in interminable queues for the various rides, especially considering that all the arcade games still cost a quid a throw. Well, Sega have had a change of heart, and now 95% of the hundreds of machines are on free play, which makes it the ideal place to fritter away your money, waste your precious youth, and generally pursue a life of delinquency and antisocial behaviour that will no doubt end in ruin. Hollywood and video games have had a troubled relationship since they first got together a couple of years ago. 9 hopes to change all that with the involvement of a company owned by the greatest actor in the world, Robert De Niro. Bob, talk some pish.
I say a movie, that's all backstory that's behind what's going on, and you show some things in the film, of course, but this you show so many different sides of one situation, one character, one whatever.
Bob's Gone Bonkers! Featuring Cher, James Belushi and Aerosmith, 9 hasn't scrimped on the budget. Whether this will save it from joining the swollen ranks of CAC Hollywood-produced CD-ROMs will be revealed next month. Welcome back. We are just about to proceed with our King of Combos at 96 event. We've got Roy who's going to be up first. Basically, our 3 challengers have got to pull off the biggest combo they can on Killer Instinct Gold. They're all uniquely brilliant at Killer Instinct, but it's the first time that they'll have used the Ultra 64 joystick. Playing Tweedledum to my Tweedledummer is Derek Lynch from Namco. Derek, Any special tips you could give them to pull off the biggest combos?
Well, to pull off the biggest combos, they'll have to get out all 5 combo enders.
Okay, what's a combo ender? Is that like EastEnders, only set in a video game?
No, they do a combo, and then it's an ender, like a special technique or a special move after a combo.
Right, okay.
Yeah?
Yep.
And then after that, with a full power gauge or super gauge, they have to pull out super linkers.
Right.
Yeah? Super linkers, and then into their ultra combo, and that's the way to get the maximum number of hits.
Well, that's easy for you to say, Derek. Right, okay, so Roy is up first. Just to recap, they get 1 match each to pull off the largest amount of combo hits. Best of luck, Roy. Off you go. Okay, so of course Roy, he is Saberwolf there, a hairy man in fawn pants and a kind of Oliver Tobias tribute there. He's going to try and get enders. Each ender he gets is going to build up a potential 4 hits on his final combo. He hasn't got one yet though, but Orchid just has. You can tell an ender because the screen will pull back a little bit. We want to see an ender from him, Derek.
That's right, he's making every effort he can. Oh, he's got an ender in.
That's 1 ender in. That'll add 4 potential hits to his end. When he can also get extras by doing super moves. This can be performed when the bar is flashing there as it is. More about them a little bit later on. That's another ender he's got there. That's 2 enders so far. He wants 3 and he's going to go. Is this into the combo yet? No, that's the 3rd ender. We might see a combo soon coming up, Derek.
That's right. He's going to aim for his super bar and to finish off.
His super bar splash, and this is it. He's going into the combo now. He's moving in close, getting a lot of hits. Tell us what moves he's doing, Derek.
Scratches, dashes. I'm speechless.
Scratches, dashes up in the end there. He could have pulled off a super move there at the end, but he hasn't, which means he's finished with a 45-hit combo. Okay, Roy shakes his head a little bit there. I thought that was quite good. Please make way for Mark. Okay, Derek. Now, Roy didn't use all of his skills that he's learned as a bank cashier. There. What did he miss out upon?
Well, it was his super linkers. He needed those.
Just a little bit of slippiness in the fingers there,
yeah,
which I hope he doesn't do when he's counting someone's £20 notes in his job as a bank cashier. You know that? Okay, right, so, Mark, 45 hits is what you have to beat. Best of luck. Off you go. So Mark playing his combo, big black guy on the left-hand side with the combat trousers and the light pumps. Okay, we are looking for some enders there. I haven't seen one yet. That's the first ender. Remember, you can get a few more of these. You can also go for super moves. That's the bar at the top and left-hand corner of the screen. You can see that there. He wants that to be flashing. He put up his super moves at the end of the combo, again extending it. That looked like... No, it wasn't quite another ender. His bar's not very high there. I'd want to see a higher if I was him.
Oh, yeah, he's looking good. He's looking mean. This guy's using some real skills.
Okay, now that was an ender from Orchid there. And I think, no, he's gone into it. He's gone into the combo and his combo is not as high as possible, but some good punching action there. It's a super move to finish it off with, but I don't think he had enough enders in his combo. 41 hits, not quite as good as Roy. Thank you, Mark. Please make way for Kingpin. Okay, so Derek, Mark didn't get as much as Roy there. Why?
Well, unfortunately, he only managed 4 combo enders.
Right.
He needed all 5. His super linkers, he missed 3.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So you missed 3 super linkers and 1 combo enders.
That's right.
And if anybody does understand exactly what that is, please write to us at the address at the end of the show. Okay, so 45 is what Kingpin has to be. Best of luck. Off you go. Okay, so of course Kingpin, he's opted as well for combo, the black guy with the light pump. And if he wants to be Roy's one of 45, we'd recommend he tries to pull off a super move as well as getting as many enders as he can in between. Now he's got 1 ender already, that's his 2nd ender. It's a great start, Derek.
That's right, he's going very well. And he...
Yes, no, sorry, carry on.
He's staying there with it, like the puncher bags in the boxing stadium, gym.
Yes, it was indeed, and I think that was quite legit. Another ender as well, there. That's his 3rd ender. He's got 3 enders. He's got very well. If you look at the top left-hand corner, you can see he's only got 3 bits on his super move bar, though. He wants to power that up a bit more. The more hits he gets on there and everything, and the more hits he receives, it all kind of melts together in some big, juicy bundle thing to allow you to do super move at the end, though. He's going to watch his own energy a bit as well, there. No, he's gone for it. He's going to do the super combo. You can see his energy bar going up. Oh, yeah. He's going to start going up now with all these hits. He's flashing, here comes the super move. It's going to be very close. It's going to be 45. 49 hit combo. That is quite literally how you get 49 hit combo. That was indeed top combo one, Kingpin. Right, Mark, the poorest of the bunch, 41 hits there. I mean, still incredible given the short amount of time you've had on the game. Where did it go wrong for you?
Well, I didn't pull off another end. I didn't pull off the last ender. And
Did the fact that you haven't used the joystick, I mean, was that anything to do with it? Doing
well,
that?
it's quite hard to use it if you just suddenly happen to use it. It's odd to play with.
Pathetic, isn't it? Absolutely pathetic. No, I'm only joking. Roy, would you agree with Mark? Did you have the same kind of problems there with a joystick?
Very much so. Yeah, I was just playing safe myself.
Right. Probably not the best time to play safe at a kind of huge big challenge on TV type situation, but there you go. And finally, Kingpin. Now, Derek said he reckoned you could have got another 11 or 12 hits on that. What's the kind of record that you've got?
Maximum 80.
You've had an 80?
Yeah.
So why couldn't you get it on telly?
Because I hadn't time to get used to the joysticks and stuff. I'm used to doing a joystick and I was a joypad, and it's a bit dodgy.
We could go on all night with Kingpin's excuses. You're into a groove, you're into a morning groove there.
It's a bit dodgy, and compared to the joysticks are slightly easy to play with.
I'd love to hear more, but we do actually have a lot of shows still to get through. And it doesn't matter because you won anyway, which means that the Go to GamesMaster joystick for King of Combos 96 goes to Kingpin. I tell you what I want, what I really want, I want a zig-a-zig. However, I have to make do with today's reviews. Younger viewers won't remember the fear we once had of a Third World War, but you can relive those hairy days on the PlayStation with Soviet Strike.
The original Jungle Strike style games were viewed in an isometric 3D position. This one you can actually have a camera roaming from behind your helicopter, but the best thing is the inclusion of fantastic CD FMV sequences. Very Command and Conquer in style.
Really does just feel like you're playing an enhanced and brilliant version of the excellent originals.
Next up, Fighting Vipers pits woefully dressed combatants against each other in an attempt to bring knee pads back in fashion.
The thing that makes Fighting Vipers particularly different to Virtua Fighter is that it's a lot easier to get into. Anyone can pick it up and do a flashy move straight away, but it takes a real gamer, real hardcore beat-em-up player to learn all the really complicated floating combos, string everything together. That really is the mark of a good beat-em-up.
Fighting Vipers is superb. I can instantly get into it, and it's even got a record mode where you can play back your best fights.
Right, I'm going to share something with you at home. At the moment, my whole body is tingling. It can either be that my pants are too tight or that our latest celebrity guest arrival is imminent. Find out which of those it is as we introduce today's Celebrity Challenge.
Just for a change, I thought I'd give today's celebrity a really difficult challenge. And what better game to test his skill than Wipeout 2097 on the PlayStation? Tearing around in a futuristic spaceship, my contestant has 2 laps in which to secure first position before he crosses the finishing line. A host of special power-ups are available to help him on his way, but make no mistake, it's accurate steering, above all, that will secure victory.
Now, we're very lucky tonight to have a special guest who comes from a show that gets even more ratings than us. We get 75 million, they get 76. Please welcome Red Dwarf's Danny John-Jules. Welcome to the show, Danny. How you doing, mate? All right?
Well, sir, well.
Okay, listen now, Danny. You've been playing a cat in Red Dwarf now for, is it 6 series or 7 series?
It's 7 now, yeah.
Wait, when's the new series back?
January.
In January. Were you working with the same people for so long?
Yeah.
I mean, do you still like each other?
No.
No?
No. We get on actually very well. You know, obviously, it gets a bit, you know, under each other's hair sometimes.
Hair is very important to me.
Oh, yeah, and
Danny,
me too.
Now, your hair on the show as Cat is fantastic. How'd you get the hair like that?
Well, the first 4 series, my hair was processed, which is sort of the equivalent of a perm, really. And the last 3, I had to wear a wig because I cut it all off for another play.
Could you give me the name of the wig guy? Because I've got this. They said it made me look like Brad Pitt.
Well,
it's not quite working, Dan.
Actually, who made my wig again? Oh, good. I can't remember.
Wigfield.
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 That's it.
Wigfield looks like
I knew there was a gag somewhere. I forgot it. It was written on my wrist.
Okay. Right, while I get on the phone to my ex-wife, if you want to see how Danny John-Jules tackles Wipeout 2097, join us after the break. Welcome back. Red Dwarf's Danny John-Jules is our special guest tonight, and now Danny is about to pit his skills on Wipeout 2097. Driving me around the bend, just for a change, is Dave Perry. Dave, is there any truth in the rumour that when you take your bandana off, your hair is even bigger than Danny's?
Yeah, it's just a rumour. I don't really want to reveal any trade secrets.
But it's certainly bigger than mine.
But we've been using the combs in the green room.
Now, any tips for Danny, Dave?
Yeah, with this one, I mean, Wipeout was an excellent game, but the problem was when you hit the sides, you instantly crashed, slowed you down. With this one now, when you hit the sides, you can keep on going, so don't let that bother you. There's also a turbo thrust you can get at the start, and I've seen Danny practicing that in the green room. If he can get the turbo thrust right from the off, he's going to get away to a good start. OK, now, most of the time when celebrities come on GamesMaster, they are, quite frankly, appalling. We do have to say that Danny is a bit tasty. This is one of the most difficult celebrity challenges we've ever had. Danny has to basically quite literally come in first place in an almost like real life type situation. Best of luck, Danny. You have 2 laps to achieve first place. Start your race. Off goes Danny in the bottom right. You got it. You got turbo thrust right from the off.
That's like what some people can get on Mario Kart there, Dave. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, very similar kind of thing.
Okay, bottom right hand corner of the screen, you can see the speed he's going at. Underneath there is an energy bar. If he hits the wall or stuff like that or gets blown up by rockets, that will go down. In the top right hand corner of the screen, you can see his position. He's 10th just now. We want him to come into first. Dave, what would you recommend he should be doing just now?
Well, what he should be doing is just taking these corners very, very carefully and just getting all the power-ups he can, using them, getting the other end, getting the enemies off the track and out of his way, because he needs to be around 5th position at the end of this lap if he's going to do this challenge.
Okay, these little blue arrows I can see, is that like the first game? Are they speed-up pads?
That's right, the blue arrows are speed-up pads, and then the stars, whatever colour they are, those are the power-ups. Get the power-ups shown on the top centre of the screen. At the moment, he's got a turbo, so on a straight, he's going to get an extra burst of speed and whiz past his opponent.
Okay, he's in 6th place. Oh, no, he wasn't 6th, but he's smacked right into the wall. He's getting electrocuted there, Dave.
No, this is a new feature. This is like an F-Zero on the old Super Nintendo game, and he'll power up. That will charge up his energy back up, but it is the slower way around the track.
Okay, we've done 1 lap. He's in 7th position. That is lower down the order than Dave said he needed to beat to come first. He's really going to have to put out all the stops here, Dave.
He is, yes, and he's got it all to do as well because he's chosen to use the steering wheel, which does make the challenge much harder than if you use the joypad. He's got it balanced on his knees, so he really has made it tough for himself.
Unless, of course, you have incredibly sticky knees. He's in 4th place now. There's not a huge... How about halfway around the lap here, Dave? Can he still do it? He's in 4th.
He really needs the computer to make a lot of mistakes if he's going to do it. He's coming up to this guy, he should take 3rd, but I don't think so. He's got autopilot on. That's good because the computer will be flying for him for a little bit. That's put him into 2nd place.
Okay, this is 2nd. We can't be too far from him. That's the guy in front of us. He's going to the finishing line. He's jostling him. He's he's taking a corner. He ain't corner on the worst part imaginable. So Danny John-Jules finishes in 2nd.
Oh man, I could smell his aftershave.
Commiserations, Danny. Now, it was a great 2nd lap. Dave said he thought you should have been in 5th position to do the challenge. You went through the first lap in about 7th place. Yeah. How did you make up those positions then?
Well, I was lucky. I had about 3 guys in front of me. Autopilot took me past those 3, which left me in 2nd place. You know, and it was a bit of a shock, really, and then I sort of got confused and then realised there was only 1 guy in front of me. And by then it was a bit too late. I ran out of time. And another couple of seconds, I think I would have had him.
Now, the other thing I noticed, I didn't notice it at the start there, but you put your sunglasses on to do the challenge.
Yeah.
What was that?
Well, I was used to practising it in the green room when there was no glare, but when I came here, I had light in front of me and one to the side, which was putting a bit of glare on the screen. It just took off the glare off the screen, really.
Okay, note to the producer, we will have to try and dazzle the celebrities more subtly than we have to think you've exposed us.
Yes.
For the charlatans we are, Danny. Well, thank you very much for coming on. I'm sorry you won't walk away with the GamesMaster Golden Joystick, but Best of luck with the
gutted.
news of Red Dwarf.
Yes, thank you.
And I hope you don't fight too much.
No, that's all right.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's special guest, Danny John-Jules. Okay, now it's time for this week's feature, that part of the show that viewers everywhere are already calling this week's feature. When an industry gets nostalgic about its past, you can tell it's reached full maturity. Unfortunately, I haven't, which is why I'm wearing an atrocious 70s shirt as a cheap gag about retro games.
Yes, retro is the word on everyone's lips at the moment, and titles like Namco Museum, Space Invaders and the Williams Arcade Classics are rising from the grave to fill some fat publishers' bulging pockets once more. I went along to the world's first retro game exhibition in HMV in London to visit some old friends.
1978, the Labour Party in Britain was in its death throes with the winter of discontent, but there was good news for video game punters in the home because the Atari 2600 came out. I was only 8 years old at the time. This was the first home console that you could buy. It was very successful because it was mostly arcade conversions, things like Phoenix, which you can see here. Unfortunately, my family couldn't afford one because it cost £100 and we were living in a hole in the street at the time. This was the first computer I ever owned, the ZX Spectrum. The year was 1982. Music-wise, it was the modern romantic era of Adam and the Ants, Spandau Ballet, and Duran Duran. This was a great little machine. It had 14,000 titles. There was a real gaming boom around this. It also saw the first ever systems war. You had the ZX Spectrum, and you also had the Commodore 64. Commodore 64 only had 10,000 titles released for it. Pretty much the same games, but it was a lot bigger, bulkier, a lot less fashionable. I had a ZX Spectrum, and we always thought that people who had Commodore 64s smelled a little bit.
Between them, the Spectrum and Commodore launched the British game scene. It's hard to believe now, but at the time, these graphics from Luna Jetman were every bit as revolutionary as something like Wipeout seems today. Nightlore was another classic produced by the company that was to become rare, the people behind Killer Instinct. The wolf theme, obviously a favourite of theirs even then. Manic Miner might look pretty primitive to you, but without this, Mario would still be sticking his hand up Brooks U-bends. Some folk believe the playability of these games make them better than most of today's efforts. I thought I'd ask games design legend Peter Molyneux what he thought of them in my office.
Is there any lessons that can be learnt by programmers now from going back and looking at these old classic games?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is that all those old classic games were just truly gameplay orientated. And that's what a lot of people forget. You've got the flashy graphics, wonderful sound, and great intro sequences, and then, oops, it's the last month before we finish the game. Oh, what have we forgotten? I know, gameplay.
Back at the exhibition, all these people agreed, bless them, fighting back tears of admiration as they confronted their heritage.
It's interesting to look at old games. It's a good reminder of what gameplay was years and years ago. I thought I would have to say, would I swap my copy of Tekken 2 for 2 copies of Mattel Intellivision Soccer? I don't think so. That is quite literally all we've got time for today. On next week's show, it's an athletics special with John Regis and Tony Jarrett. But because it's Halloween, I leave you with the following question. Why are people so scared of old witches when 16-year-old girls are far more intimidating? Good night.
Cheeky monkeys with internet access can fill their GamesMaster pants to the brim by visiting our webpage. The address is on the bottom. Oh, it's like Christmas has come already.